YouTube, it's me, Ashley, a girl and her flowers, and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 7 of Vlogmas, and I thought I would do a story time with you guys, get a little personal with you. And I'm going to do the story time on how I got pregnant with Ashton and the very interesting situation that folded around his life at 2. So, to give you guys a little backstory, I was in a very long relationship with a woman, and we would call her D, like D as in devil, or D as in demon, or D as in dirty. We would call her D. And me and D had been together for a while, and we decided that we wanted to expand our family. At that point, Caden was 4, and I didn't want there to be too much time in between the kids, so we figured, why not start now? I talked with my doctor, and my doctor said, you know, everything looked fine and I should be able to carry another baby with no problem. So I asked a friend of mine, we will call him M, if he wanted to donate his sperm to the cause, which was to help us get pregnant. He thought about it over a few days, I think, and then he texted me one day and said he'd do it. So, me and M were really close friends, so I thought that this would be perfect because I know his temperament. He's a gorgeous guy, and I thought, you know, this would be good. But we didn't do a whole lot of talking during that time. So, hindsight, we probably should have, but we didn't. We kind of just went straight forward and didn't do any legal paperwork or anything. We just decided we would do it. So I started tracking my ovulation, and during that time I let him know when I was ovulating. He came over one night. It was probably like after midnight because he worked really late. He went upstairs, he did his thing, and then I have a prop. Hold on. Okay, there we go. And then I went upstairs after him, and I used this. Not this one in particular, but this is what I use. It's called a needleless syringe. It's like what you use to administer medicine to babies. And I transferred his sperm from the cup into this, and then I put this inside of myself, and we did that 2 days in a row, and 3 weeks later I was pregnant. Just that simple. Hold on, I got a tote. There we go. I was pregnant 3 weeks later. So I let him know that I was pregnant, and again, we didn't do a whole lot of talking, and me and D's relationship was semi at a good point, and then it started to take a really bad turn for the worse. D cheated on me quite a bit, and it was pretty bad, and the emotional and mental abuse and the constant cheating had got really bad. But at this point I was pregnant and I didn't want to bring a child into an angry home, so I tried my hardest to just make happiness where happiness wasn't, and that is a mistake. Don't try to force it. If it's not there, it's not there, and it's not there for a reason. But anyway, back to the story. So 9 months go by, and me and M have probably talked about 2 or 3 times during my pregnancy. And I don't know if I said I'm going to call him M as in male, but that's who he is. So Ashton was born, and I text M and let him know he can come see the baby. He held him, and we talked for maybe about 5 minutes. He had to go to work, and that was that. And Ashton was born September 26th. The next time we saw M was Thanksgiving. And again, he held Ashton again. And it wasn't super awkward. He did ask a request that actually is the catalyst that started us on the journey that got us to where we are. He asked me if I would go with him to his mom's house to tell his mom some other news that's not my news to tell, but also to let her know what we had done. And during that time, his mom fell in love with Ashton, and I know that the first time he held Ashton, he probably fell in love with him too, but he didn't want to disrupt our situation. Sorry, I gotta fix this. So he didn't say anything, and it caused a lot of anger and animosity and arguments between me and D and M and M and me, and it was really bad. I mean, it was a horrible situation for any child to be in, and even though he's so young, I could feel a lot of anger resonating off of my body because of the situation. And then dealing with that, and also the relationship of me and D having a full breakdown, because at this point there was so much infidelity that I couldn't ignore it anymore. And I had to figure out a way to separate myself from this, but while also trying to, I guess in not the most mature way now that I think about it, but trying to make sure that there was no relationship between Ashton and M, which was definitely hindsight a bad idea, because at this point he's coming to visit. We went to mediation. He would see him a couple hours a day, and it transitioned. Ashton was born in September. We started court proceedings started around April, May. He started to see him a couple hours at our home starting around May, June, and by October he was getting him for like 12 hours. And November it went to like overnights, and then it kind of went to now he gets him 2 nights a week. But during that time, me and Dee decided to go our separate ways. And it was so crazy, our breakup, which will definitely be another story time. Because if you think this story is crazy, wait till you hear about this. Because it was crazy, okay? It was bad. So yeah, it was bad. So that broke down. And during this time, I'm really growing. And I'm starting to, understand what was happening around me, love myself, and realize I was making a huge mistake by trying to be with Dee when the relationship was a total loss. Not a total loss, because I have my beautiful son and I wouldn't have thought to have another baby on my own. So me being with her is what caused Ashton to be here. So that's the only positive thing to come out of that, because boy, wait till that story time. But anyway, so my relationship with M, since all of this, has grown into this beautiful co-parenting situation that I could never ask for anything better, different. He spends time with my oldest, hangs out with him. My children are so loved. And I know a lot of people, even me, was very angry when this situation really started to unfold. But my children are so loved. So I just want to give a tip to any parents out there in the same situation, or not the same situation, I know it's a crazy situation, but who has a parent outside the home of their child. Remember that your child deserves all the love in the world. And unless the other parent is causing them physical or mental, emotional harm, your child deserves all the love in the world. And you don't want to stand in the between that. You want to let your child get all the love that they deserve. And that's what I decided to do. I'm like, who am I at this point? As I'm seeing my son be happy when he sees his father and go. And I'm like, who am I to stand in the way of his joy? So I kind of backed away and put myself in his shoes and put myself in how I would feel if 10 years down the road I knew that one of my parents kept me away from another parent. And I decided that I wasn't going to stand in the way of their relationship, and I haven't, and I don't plan on turning back. I know it's a crazy situation, but my children are so loved. And that's just an important thing to remember, that the love that your children get is the most important thing. And you want them to feel, as much love as possible. And the more people to love them, the better. And I know that when my youngest son goes with his father, that he's not in harm's way, just like he knows when he's home with me that he's not in harm's way. And that's what's most important. And that is how I got pregnant, and I'm in this crazy situation. So basically, I'm in a co-parenting situation with my sperm donor. And to answer the question that I know people are thinking, because later on down the line, like I have a date coming up, and you guys will hear more about my love life a little. So let me answer this question right now. I consider myself to be, you can call me sapiosexual. I'm attracted to intelligence, and I date whoever I want to date. And I am very open about that. And if you don't like it, I guess it's your problem. But you shouldn't have a problem with it, because it's my life. And everything is good over in this hood. It's all happy joy. And yes, it's bonkers. And yes, I know you're like, this girl is nuts. Did she really? I really did get pregnant with a needleless syringe. It wasn't a turkey baster. It was a needleless syringe, and that's how it worked out. But I have a beautiful child. I have 2 beautiful little boys who love me, and I love them, and they are so loved, and they are surrounded by love, and they are washed in love, and I couldn't ask for anything more. And that is it. That is the situation around my youngest son. So Happy Vlogmas Day 7. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And then I'll be with you guys tomorrow. Who knows what we'll be doing. Maybe me and Kaden will do something together since it's me and Kaden's weekend. We'll see. But until next time.